couple of things. I know it's maybe indirectly related. This afternoon, if any of you have a business or you work in Everett, the Everett Leader Herald newspaper, they have, a primary coverage on their front page. Now, just so you know, the Kernane family that runs that paper, to the best of my knowledge, and I used to write a trivia game for them, they're Republican, as is someone named Mike Matarazzo, who is the city clerk in Everett, and I believe he's a former chairman of the Everett Committee. But yet, there was not one mention, not one syllable concerning the Republican primary coming up. Now, Everett may have a 5, 6, 7, whatever percent, Republican enrollment. However, they still exist, and there's going to be Republicans voting, and I think it's something that should be brought up with the management of that newspaper. Now, Bernie, since you are from a neighboring community and a chairman, perhaps a letter from you might be of some interest, if you can get a hold of the copy of the paper. I forgot to bring mine in. I had one. I apologize for
Monica's?
No, it isn't. This is Everett.
Okay, who's the state committee member?
Well, it was someone named Zenkowski from Cambridge, for the Middlesex, Suffolk, and Essex, and the woman's name escapes me, but somebody, because I know that our state chair, Jennifer Nasser, gave up the seat, and there is somebody that is handling it in her place. There must have been a caucus to replace Jennifer, so.
I'll find out tomorrow.
All right, but this is something I believe that should be brought up, that to totally ignore the Republican primary is, I don't know, it's just not right.
I assume everybody's had a chance to read the newsletter, either electronically or in the mail. Hopefully everybody has. There were 2 articles I'd like to call your attention to if you didn't read them beyond the meeting notice. Now, first one is the fact that Sean Harrington, the young man, the student from Arlington who made so many headlines, because last year he tweaked the school committee about the fact that many of the classrooms did not have American flags, and then towards the end of the season, around May, came back before the school committee to bring to their attention that no one was reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, and that it was a state law requirement. In any case, as most of us know, the local press and the media picked it up because it was not too long before July 4th, and so patriotic. And Sean not only managed to hit all of the local programs, I know he spent at least 2 hours with Dan Ray on WBZ, right in studio, and also was on Fox. He was Fox and Friends, and also along with Glenn Beck. So he's made quite an appearance, and I believe that he was the first one to say the Pledge of Allegiance at Arlington High School for the beginning of this new year. Sean got himself involved with TARS, which maybe some of you have not heard of, but it's the Teenage Republicans, an organization. We were all aware of young Republicans and college Republicans. I had never heard of high school until I was asked, along with Dr. Mildred Jefferson, to be the adult advisors, to which I said yes, and I'm already enjoying the effort. They've created a federation of New England states to beef up the membership of local clubs, and in fact, there's a young man here from Medford, Trent, who is going to try to start a Medford High School Republican Club. And it requires, of course, the approval of the school officials and involvement of at least one teacher to be an advisor. But so it's an interesting thing, and I'll give you a little insight. I was amazed at and pleased to notice that there are some young people who are already thinking in adult terms about very serious matters that many young teenagers only snicker about. The second part of that was the interesting table talk after their organizational meeting, in which someone posed the question, when did you first decide that you were a conservative and a Republican? And after a couple had answered the question, and I admitted to be a convert to the party after the Kennedy assassination, but that notwithstanding, one young man said that he decided that he was a conservative and a Republican in the first grade, which certainly startled me at which I turned to this young man from Connecticut, and I told him, if you say it was preschool, I'm going to hit you off the side of the head. But it is amazing that there are some young people who believe in the conservative values that this party used to hold near and dear, and that they are starting as teenagers. So I'll have more to report on that as things develop. But
I'm sorry, I wanted to quickly mention that Republicans are holding a cocktail party and fundraiser in Winchester on September 17th, and there was a notice sent out.
Next Friday, yeah.
Yeah, so if anyone's interested, you can contact me or Bernie.
Yep.
And
I've already sent my money in. It's an enjoyable event
yeah,
that's done every year.
We have great speakers and it'll be a great time. Excuse me? It's 35 Everett Ave in Winchester. If you just follow Winthrop Avenue down, right under the train bridge, second left.
Any of the questions you have on the event, if you click on, if you've got the hard copy, or you can go on to medfordgop.blogspot.com, and you'll see it on as one of the articles about the cocktail party, including the contact number for Marie. Where is it? I can't think of
Marie
Marie.
Barada, but I'm handling the things from this end,
Okay.
most of them, and I'm doing all the invitations.
If you're thinking about it, then why don't you speak to
yeah.
after the meeting and express your interest.
And we'll have some other speakers, Bill Campbell.
Richard to say.
Yeah.
Candidate for state rep in the Medford, in the Winchester Stoneham district.
There was some talk, I called you to his office on vacation, and there was some talk he was going to drop by, and I don't know how that went because the person who was dealing with that, I don't know. I don't know that.
You said it was a fundraiser for home party?
It's for the party, yep, for the candidates. It's $35, so.
It's good food, and as the article in the newsletter says, a lot of it is homemade. It's not all just store-bought.
We had a lot, yeah, we had some of it.
Well, I said some of it is, yeah.
A few of the things.
And there's always a good, a nice beer or wine that you might want to enjoy along with your little mouth-watering hors d'oeuvres. And like I say, good speakers, lovely group of people, and meet some of your colleagues in Winchester also at the same time. Also, if you also get to read the newsletter, you'll say there's an interesting article about the Tea Party and what's going on with some of their events. There's been some controversy about certain issues that have been brought up. As I said before, some of the issues that the party used to hold near and dear, especially those issues that deal with social and moral values. Some of the Tea Party people don't seem to be comfortable with it. And in any case, I'll just say that if you want to read further, read the newsletter, and hope that you might gain some insights, because that's what I'm trying to do for all of us, and make us all the best and most informed Republicans in the entire state. Anyhow, is there any other business? If there isn't, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Seconded? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.